Michael knew that if he refused to give up and practiced every day, he would eventually become the next Tony Hawk. So every day after school, Michael grabbed his board and practiced his moves until he could barely stand. And when he couldn't go outside, he practiced here on his bed. He was dedicated, and he knew that it would eventually pay off. But Michael was wrong. Despite all of the hard work put into skateboarding, Michael simply wasn't good enough. So these days, he picks up missing golf balls for $0.25 each. What a sellout. Much like Michael, TurboPlay believed that if you paid your dues, you would eventually wind up on top. Unfortunately, that's not how the world works. Sometimes you have no control over your ultimate fate. Launched in 1990, TurboPlay is the oldest of the 4 North American magazines created to cater specifically to the TurboGrafx-owning audience. That's right, there were 4 publications dedicated exclusively to the system everybody thinks was a massive flop. It lasted until 1992 and covered nearly all of the console's tumultuous life. While TurboForce came from the editors of Electronic Gaming Monthly, TurboPlay was a spin-off of the lesser-known Video Games and Computer Entertainment. As such, it retained a lot of what made the original magazine so good, including memorable artwork and exhaustive strategy guides. The writing was also top-notch, often delving into the turbo-related topics few other magazines bothered with. Unlike TurboForce, which launched a year later, TurboPlay featured reviews. Early on, the reviews were short and lacked a proper score. They eventually switched to a larger format, which mirrored what Video Games and Computer Entertainment was doing. But still, no score. 6 months in, the magazine got the message and switched to a 5-star rating, and then, 2 issues later, to a 10-point rating that also factored in sound, music, graphics, and playability. They stuck with this rating until the final issue in August of 1992. To its credit, TurboPlay lasted 14 issues, which is 10 more than TurboForce. It also had some of the industry's best covers, as you can see from this crawl. And while the issues were short, they were crammed with well-written pieces that remain worth reading 2 decades later. But this wasn't enough, and the low sales of the TurboGrafx ultimately doomed this well-written magazine. So here's my advice to you, Michael. Get off the skateboard, sell it to a friend, and buy yourself a TurboGrafx 16. It really does have a lot of great games you need to play. I'm talking about Eastbook 1 and 2, and Ninja Spirit, Devil's Crush, Kadash, Bomberman 93, Splatterhouse, Battle Load Runner, Loom. Hey, don't leave now! We're going to be talking about different magazines every single day between now and Christmas. That's 29 episodes looking back at classic game magazines. So don't forget to subscribe and check out those other videos. See you tomorrow!